It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shorman and this is the Forum on Eagle Community Television. The Forum is brought to you by Hayes Med. Today we're going to talk about Big Creek Crossing. That's a new name that's been floating around our community. We have the new marketing director for Big Creek Crossing, formerly called The Mall. He's with us here today. James Younger is our guest, and James, good to have you here.
Great to be here.
Now, some people are watching out there, they're saying, I know this James Younger guy, he used to be in town. Tell me about your background because you grew up here in town.
Yes, I did. I was born and raised here. I graduated high school, Hayes High School, 2009, go Indians.
Yes.
In 2014, I graduated Fort Hays State University with a bachelor's degree in communications with an emphasis on public relations. And shortly after that, I wound up here at the mall, and I'm very excited to be here. Being a Hayes native, I'm very proud of Hayes.
What caused you to get into marketing at the mall? I mean, what were you thinking about with that? Was that one of the career things growing up? You said, boy, I want to be out and work at the mall, and we'll go through a name change, and I can tell that story. Was that on your plans?
Not at first, it wasn't on my plans. One of the big things that one of my personal beliefs about the city of Hayes is that it is a great city. It's a great family-oriented city. I've always found our city to be underrated on a national level, and I've always wanted a position to where I could really help catapult this city into becoming nationally recognized. Not necessarily to the extent of Kansas City, but being a very, very friendly, very open town and make it a destination for people as well. I know we serve as kind of a main hub for smaller communities around the area, but coming into this position, something that I really want to do is I really want to bring back the pride that comes with the city. I feel like a lot of the citizens in this community, that pride has kind of weakened a little bit within our community, and I would really like to bring that back. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit, because you came on board after the rebranding, because when it was rebranded and to Big Creek Crossing, and I know there's still some people, and I caught myself saying it's still the mall because it is the mall in town, but it has a new name that's branded a little bit differently. You came on afterwards. What does that mean to the local consumer today with a new name? Is it the same building or just the same thing with a new name, or are there some other things going along with that?
Our new name symbolizes an entire new attitude. Our attitude at the mall is one of a neighborhood. We really like the aspect of our mall being seen as a neighborhood. All of our tenants like to see our mall as a neighborhood because we like to be a family-oriented organization. And by being a family-oriented organization, we feel like that's something that plays very, very, how should I say, it plays deeply into the public.
Well, when you take a look at where you go to shop, you mentioned the region area. My guess is when you were interviewing this job, that sort of vision was important, because I know they did a big search trying to find somebody and ended up with somebody right from this area. And I assume that vision is something they're trying to take from you and build into Northwest Kansas.
Yes, absolutely. That is something. It's a pretty tall order. Mm-hmm. If I do say so myself, it's a pretty tall order, but I feel like I can rise above and I can rise to the challenge.
You know, one of the things when you take a look at the mall, and it is a shopping hub, there are a lot of different areas in Hayes to shop as well that are very good. How do you differentiate within the community what that means to be that local neighborhood there? How do you tell that story and really make that difference so people don't walk in and say, boy, it's the same old thing we saw before?
One of the really big things that we are focusing on right now is a list of events in our calendar year. We're going to be doing a lot of new events. We're amping up our old events. We are currently looking at doing a farm show that is going to happen April 16th and 17th. We're very excited to be partnered with the Fort Hays State Rodeo team. Mm-hmm. It's their 50th anniversary this year, which is very, very exciting for us.
So you're going to have rodeo in the mall?
Not in the mall. It'll be out in the parking lot.
That would be fun. I mean, that could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be interesting, but I'm sure there might be some people that might not like that. So, but that's something that we're very excited to be with, and that's another major aspect that me and my property manager, Katie Dortzweiler, are very big on. Is not only being seen as a neighborhood-like establishment, but also embedding ourselves in this community. We feel as though the mall has been a part of this community, it's been in the community, but at the same time, it hasn't done as much as it's going to. We really like the idea of going out and creating events to create memories.
Well, you do have some areas around the mall with the parking. You have areas in the mall that allow you to display things differently as well. So, when you talk about doing a rodeo, if you can do a rodeo, you can probably do about anything out in the parking lot, right?
Well, we're not necessarily doing a rodeo. We're doing a farm show that'll allow exhibitioners of Caraco implement, for example, is going to be helping us out immensely with it. There'll be tractors on display. There'll be an antique tractor show. There'll be all different types of agriculture vendors. And that will enable the public to come out, especially in this ag community and with the agriculture business in Western Kansas. It'll give them a chance to look at what's coming in the future of farming, as well as any type of agriculture upgrades that they're going to want or that they do desire. And it also gives, if you're a city person, much, kind of like myself, it gives you an opportunity to see just how that loaf of bread came about, or how those soybeans came out of the ground.
And be amazed by the size and the equipment that's out there. That's the other part, is just amazing.
Absolutely.
That part. So how does a rodeo club fit in?
The rodeo club fits in. We started talking about the idea of the farm show. We got a lot of interest in it, and we thought it would be an excellent idea to bring the rodeo club out to our farm show and celebrate their 50th anniversary milestone. Their rodeo event is one of the largest in Western Kansas, and there are professional bull riders that will be attending this rodeo as well. I've spoken personally with the director of the rodeo team, and I personally know a couple of his members, and I'll be the first to tell everybody that it's an astonishing group of kids. The work that they do and the dedication that they have is second to none, and there's a reason why they're at the position where they're at, just because of hard work and dedication.
Well, that's the connection that you're really working on, trying to build those. What else do you have in store on those kind of fronts?
Right now we have the farm show in store coming around May 7th. We also have a car show that we're teaming up with Collegiate DECA. That car show is going to benefit MDA, which we're pretty excited about as well. That's going to be taking place in our parking lot. We do have a couple other nonprofit events that are coming up as well. Last year we had the Night of Giving for United Way. That will also be taking place again this year. We have a couple little event ideas that we're going to do with that to kind of put a fun little spin on things. So
well, it's exciting to see what's happening there. Now, there also has to be the shopping aspect of what goes on. And that's going to be interesting to see how you develop the different options in shopping. We'll talk about that when we come back and how people find out more about some of the events that take place. Our guest is James Younger. You're watching The Forum on Eagle Community Television.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to the second half of our Forum program. We're talking about Big Creek Crossing, formerly known as the Mall. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, ideas about future shows, let us know. Send your email to gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. You can also check us out on Facebook under ECTV Forum. We'd like to hear from you. Our guest is James Younger, and he's the marketing director at Big Creek Crossing. And most people still call it the mall because it is a mall here in town. That's going to be one of those things. I think, how long has it been the mall? Years and years before you were born, maybe before
Yes.
I was born. I'm not sure, probably not that long, but nonetheless,
quite a
it's
while.
been there a long time. And so you're going to be working under the new name. You talked about how you're trying to really reinvent inside of it, of talking about that community thing. But how do you do that because you still take shopping, a mall still takes shopping. What do you envision happening to help change the shopping experience for people?
As far as changing the shopping experience for people, Big Creek Crossing does have a great crew of employees. We have awesome employees at work, very helpful. We try to stay on top of customer satisfaction as much as we can. We've also started to make a presence known in social media. We've gotten a little bit more aggressive with that as well. Our tenants that we have at the mall, such as Bling, Riddles Jewelry, everybody at the mall is just great to work with. They're astonishing to work with. They're so awesome. The store managers are so awesome, and I can really see that that we really have nowhere else to go but up with that.
What else are you working on bringing us? Some other ideas, or at least areas of business that you'd like to see move into some of the areas of the mall?
Well, when it comes to
Any secrets you can tell us here?
unfortunately not. When it comes to any potential prospects that come into our mall, that is something that we keep confidential. And believe me, if I could mention them, I would, but unfortunately I can't.
What areas would you like to see? I mean, are there some areas that the mall needs that you would like to see in there that you'll work on to help, build that?
I do see a couple areas. Of course, again, that is kind of confidential. We like to keep that locked up pretty tight. You can bet, though, that the minute we do come to an agreement and we do have an announcement of any future stores opening up in our mall, Hayes Post is going to be the first to know, so stay tuned.
All right, you have it right here. One of the things that is switching gears a little bit, people may want to know what's happening. And we talk about it on Hayes Post, we talk about it on our radio stations and tell that story. If somebody wants to go online and say, here's the calendar of events, is there a place to go online to Big Creek Crossing to find out more?
Our Facebook page is the best way to find out about our events. If you hit us up on Facebook, just search for Big Creek Crossing, like our page. We'll have all the information, current up-to-date sales. We have our events posted on there as well. We are still working on getting, I believe we're only about 3 months out right now on our events, but we're working on getting a little bit farther out as well as far as events that are going to be in the future. So that's definitely the way to get a hold of us.
Okay, so log on Facebook, do that way. And for somebody that hasn't been in the mall for a while, now Big Creek Crossing, it's a new name, anything different, what will they notice when they walk in the door?
Well, definitely the first thing that you're going to notice is probably a little bit of the recent renovations that have been done inside the mall. The other thing that you might notice as well is, you will see a couple new faces here and there. You'll see myself, you'll see, you might see Katie Dortzweiler around as well. Mm-hmm. And overall, I think you're going to start experiencing, and the public's going to start experiencing an actual change that they're going to be able to feel and not just see. So.
Very cool. James, thanks for being on our program today.
Absolutely.
James Younger has been our guest. He's marketing director at Big Creek Crossing. We used to call it the mall, but drop by and see if you notice any differences there. You'll also find James running around in the mall area as well. Thanks for watching the Forum program. It's brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.